Hi everyone, and welcome to this What's New video on the Export Electronic Portfolios in KBART format, a new development in the August 2014 release of ALMA. KBART format, you may know, is the Knowledge Bases and Related Tools format. This is a project of the UKSG, which used to be known as the United Kingdom Serials Group, but is currently known simply by its acronym UKSG because it's no longer restricted to the UK, nor is it restricted exclusively to serials. Together with the NISO, KBART schema is essentially a recommended best practice for how bibliographic metadata concerning electronic resources should be encoded or provided via OpenURL. The KBART schema is used primarily by content providers to increase the accuracy of the links to their content. In the August 2014 version of ALMA, you're able to export electronic portfolios using the KBART schema. Let's take a look at that now in ALMA. If we go now to the Export job, under Run a Job, filter by Export, and you'll see the Export Electronic Portfolios job. This is not a new job. What's new here is simply the ability to export in a particular format, namely the KBART format. We'll select a set. The sets, of course, must have been configured already. You'll see here the output format, formerly ALMA supported export in Google Scholar. Now the new development in August is that KBART schema is also supported. Notice that when we select KBART schema, two new fields are going to open up here. Namely the export only active portfolios. You have the ability to exclude from export those portfolios in the set that are not active. And in addition, you have the ALMA link resolver base URL. This is a parameter which you should probably be familiar with. Having said that, however, I will say that there is a plan in the roadmap for later this year to populate this field automatically from a parameter that will be configured elsewhere in the system. You'll configure that parameter once, and then each time that you need to run this job, this field will be populated automatically. In the meantime, however, you need to populate the field, and this information, this base URL, will be included in the export file for each electronic portfolio. The number of records in file field allows you to determine how many portfolios you'd like to be included in the export file, whether you'd like all of the portfolios to be included in a single file, or if you have thousands of portfolios, whether you'd like to limit the size of any given file to a particular number of portfolios. Now, it's important to realize and understand that the files that are going to be created are going to be per collection. If you have a set that includes portfolios from more than one collection, you'll have a number of export files, at least one for each collection represented by the portfolios in the set that you're exporting. So if you select here, for example, one file, then you'll have a single file per collection, which will contain all of the portfolios in that collection that are included in the export file, in the export set, excuse me. If you, however, you choose a number, then you may very well end up with more than one file per collection, depending upon the number of portfolios included in that collection in the export set. The export into folder, you have a choice here of private or institution, and we'll see exactly where that goes to. You can also export the file, the list of portfolios that you're exporting, to an FTP connection. If you've configured an FTP, you can select it here and enter a subdirectory on that FTP server. We're going to run this as soon as possible. This may take some time to run. However, I will mention in the meantime that once the job has completed, the operator who sent this job to run will receive an email notification indicating the job has now been completed. The job is still running. We can see the progress here. When the job is completed, it will be moved to the Completed tab, and then we'll be able to see the exported files in the Manage Export location. Okay, we see now that our job has completed. We can check the Completed tab and see, in fact, the job is done by navigating to the Manage Exports link under the Resource Management menu. We can see the private and institution folders that we could select when we configured the export job. We selected the private folder, and here in fact we see our completed job. Clicking on the View button presents us with a list of all of the files that have been exported. Remember, each file contains the portfolios for that particular collection. Each collection has its own file. We can choose to download the file or click simply on the hypertext link, which will provide the same effect. And here we can see a sample of the exported information in KBART format, and here we see the URL that we entered previously. So that's the new functionality. Thank you very much.